Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Southeast Media Sunrise, dedicated to giving a voice to authors of all genres. I'm your host, Jodi Hockinson. Joining us remotely by phone today is Nancy Dick, author of Amanda Goes to Las Vegas. Nancy Dick holds 3 bachelor's degrees in art, sociology, and journalism, as well as a master's degree in sociology. Born in Detroit, Michigan, Nancy currently lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. She works and sings in a church choir. Thank you for joining us today, Nancy.
Thank you for having me.
So, can you tell us a little about your book, Amanda Goes to Las Vegas?
It is set in Indiana on a very rural farm, on the Miller farm that is run by the father, Tom Miller, and he has 2 children, one Tommy, who's off in the military, and one daughter named Amanda, who's about to become an adult. And basically, he orders her to find a spouse to bring back to the farm to keep the family going and keep everything in the family for generations to come. But she is not real super successful at that. Eventually, he wants a young man that's hardy that can work on the farm. Eventually, she finds an older man named Ralph and wants to be married to him. And but the problem is that he's older and not what the father really had in mind. And he keeps asking Tommy to come back home to keep the family going because he's getting older. Eventually, certain things happen, and Amanda goes to Las Vegas because she's promised that she can be a big star here, and hooked up with a talent agent here. And so she's trying to save the family's farm, at least financially, since she has not been able to fulfill the promise to her father to try to find a spouse and try to be a star for herself, have a career.
So this is a culinary-themed book with recipes which are listed with page numbers just after the table of contents. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, I put that in because I wanted it to be interactive so that people would have a chance to feel close to the characters, to feel like they are, cooking the recipes with the characters, and also so a person would have a keepsake, a memory of something that they could use for their own family. And I thought that would be really nice for people.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. So what inspired you to write this book?
I wanted to have something to say in the world, to make a mark on the world, and I was trying to get a new profession, but I didn't know at the time much about the marketing end, and so that's why we got revised edition. We did it all over again. But I think that everybody has a story in them, and they always say to tell what you know about. And I had lived in Indiana, and I had gone to college there, and so I was very well versed in it. And I had lived here, and I thought it would be a good compare and contrast between an extreme rural area to a place in Las Vegas with all the casinos and all the stars and all the glitter, and how different the 2 people are, yet they had a lot of human qualities together that they could identify and feel at home with each other.
So I understand you're willing to read a passage of your book to us today. Can you do that for us?
Yes, I can. And let me get to the page, and I will do that for you.
Fantastic.
Okay. This is a scene where Amanda gets with the older man that I had told you about, Ralph, and they're professing love for each other. And I will just read because I want it to be a very moving, so people can see the emotion. "Tell me you will always love me as much as you do now," says Amanda one evening while supper was heating on the stove. "I promise," said Ralph. "Tell me that you will always love me as much as you do now," said Ralph. "I will," said Amanda. I said, "Good, because I couldn't bear it if you didn't. I really couldn't," said Ralph, holding her close. So we'll move forward, and the next day is happening, and Amanda wakes up at the sunlight where the sun is filtering through the glass of the bedroom, and Ralph was still sleeping, and she didn't want to wake him. The store, which is where they lived, wasn't due to open for a couple of hours yet, so she showered and made breakfast to surprise him. Amanda returned to Ralph's side, sitting on the bed. "Wake up, sleepyhead," said Amanda. Amanda nudged him. He didn't move an inch. "Boy, you really are really tired," said Amanda. She shook his body. He was laying on his side. He fell on his back. She put her head on his chest, since she loved to feel his heart beat so. "Oh, my God," screamed Amanda. Amanda ran down the stairs. She left the door open to the apartment. She fled to the restaurant across the street. She tapped on the glass of the window. The waitress she had met the day she applied for the job opened the door. "What do you want, sweetie?" "We are closed still," said the waitress. "I think Ralph is dead." I put my head on his chest to give him a hug, and I didn't hear his heartbeat, and I couldn't wake him up, screamed Amanda, swinging her arms around frantically. "Stay here. I'll run up to see if Ralph is okay." "Okay?" said the waitress. "Okay," said Amanda. The ambulance drove Ralph away. Amanda felt like somebody had put a knife in her heart. How could God have let this happen to her? And Ralph, poor Ralph. He was so good. He deserved better. I love him so. Now I have to live the rest of my life without him. I have to leave. I have to leave. I can't stay here. These things kept running through her head. "Hello, Dad? Come get me. Ralph just died. I have to come home. I can't stay here right now. Please, Dad," said Amanda. "I will be right there," said Tom. Carolyn was waiting for Amanda when they drove up the drive with a hug and a kiss on her forehead.
Wow, that is a really moving passage. So thank you for reading that for us and for sharing that particular passage with us. So tell us a little bit about the fact that this is a revised edition. Can you tell us what type of revisions you made?
Yes, originally I don't want to mention names because I appreciate everything and everybody that did anything that helped this book. But I had started with a company, and they gave me the beginning point, but they weren't able to do certain things, and they had like almost 500 typos to it. And they had one experience, and so they put it on the online incorrectly, and I needed help, and I was trying to kind of figure it out, and I somehow stumbled upon a man who was an editor, and he wanted me to disassociate with that company, and he basically made me the publisher, and we redid the whole book and put a new cover on it, and we took a 2.5-year process where he fine tuned the whole entire book, and just made sure that it was spectacular in every single way. And he's the one that made in effect, the index for the recipes, because he thought it would be really nice for people if after they read the book and they wanted to find the recipe, they could just look at the page instead of having fingering through all of the book to try to find it. And I thought it was very, very nice of him. So we worked really hard. It took me 3 different cover efforts before he chose a cover that he liked, and we put it back up on Amanda Goes to Las Vegas, and Amanda.com, and BarnesandNoble.com, and then I went through about 2.5 years of doing workshops that were free through the public library to learn the marketing end. And they trained me on how to word things. And I approached Barnes and Noble and asked them and said a copy of this book to them and asked them if they liked this book. And they said, "Yes, we do." And so they said, "We would like to put it in the store." And because of that, I've been able to do 3 book signings so far.
So I understand you are a great proponent of the ABC rule, always be selling. Can you elaborate on that for our audience?
Yes, it's really important. I went through this myself for anyone that wants to be an author. And I believe everyone has abilities to be an author and should at least try to write 1 book if they have it inside of them to do that. And because everybody has a story to tell. But you can't just write the book and then not get it out to the public. You have to let people know that the book exists. And you have to, sell it, like it was your baby. You want everyone to cherish it and to love it and to adore it. And the best way to keep the word out about it. And unless you let the public know, they're not going to be able to know that it exists at all. And so that's one thing that happened to me at the last time I did the Barnes and Noble book signing, is they wanted me to go more grassroots and get out and do things like the podcast and let everybody know about the book. And it's now potentially in every Barnes and Noble in the whole United States, but sometimes they don't have it on the bookshelf yet. And all you have to simply do is go to the counter and ask them, and they will actually order it in a day or 2, and it'll be on the bookshelf that somebody can just walk over there in the romance section and pick it up and purchase it.
Fantastic. So I understand you have another book out. The Santa Claus. Can you tell us a little about that one?
Yes, when I was with the original publisher, they wanted me to try another genre. And they just wanted to see whether I could, and they were more interested in the artwork. So they wanted a nice, loving story, and that was a children's book. So I chose Everybody Loves Christmas, and I wanted to have a little bit of a modern twist. So I tried to make it that Santa Claus was going on vacation. He was going to email Christmas to everyone and give them a gift card. Only found out that people wanted the real Santa Claus and he had to return back. And because of it, as we tried to stay with the traditions of Christmas. We still have Christmas because he kept the traditions going and he didn't give up on Christmas and still followed the sleigh ride in the reindeer. And so that's what the basic story is just to try to give it a little bit of a modern twist and try to be very, the editor again, we did a revised edition on that. He wanted it to be an 8.5 by 11 because he thought children like to touch things and hold things in their hand and would like the bigger pages. And so I put in new additional artwork, revised the whole cover, and all of its original art for the children. Oh, and it's now also in Story Monsters, which is a very famous literary children's magazine, if anybody wants to see it.
Okay, so we're almost out of time, but we do have just enough time to hear one of your recipes. Would you like to give us one of the recipes out of your book,
yes,
Amanda?
I truly would, because I want somebody to have a nice memory to take with them. And it's a wonderful recipe that the people can use, and that's why they can either use it at home. It's very healthy for people in for colds or flus or things like that, and it's a real easy recipe. But also you can use it, and I'm inviting people to do that for fundraisers for their church or things like that. And all you have to do is real easy, just double the recipe, okay? So this is a chili recipe, and it's real easy to do. And basically, you just take a green pepper and chop it up, and you can just have like a can of tomato pieces, just as much as tomatoes you like, and take onion and mince it. Okay, and you can even buy in the store the onion and already the pepper minced if you want to, and just cook all of that together. Okay, and when that's already cooked, just put in a can, as much as you want, a can of kidney beans, and mix it up, and put in chili powder as much as you would like, just to taste, and then use a can of tomato juice, a large can. I use V8 juice because it has more tang, and you're good to go on it. So it's real easy to do, and it's a wonderful fundraiser for churches and other organizations that might help people too. But it's also wonderful for good health.
Terrific. Thank you for sharing that with us. So we are out of time, but for everyone's information, Amanda Goes to Las Vegas and the Santa Claus, The Christmas Story are both available in ebook and paperback. Anyone interested in purchasing either of these books can visit our website at semediapro.com or Amazon, as well as Barnes & Noble. For more information about Nancy Dick and her projects, you can visit worksbynancydick.com, or you can send her an email at worksbynancydick@gmail.com. Again, we have been speaking with Nancy Dick, author of Amanda Goes to Las Vegas and the Santa Claus, The Christmas Story. Thanks again for joining us today, Nancy.
Oh, I just love every second of it, and I hope that the audience loves it as much as I did, and I appreciate being invited on, and I just hope that everybody goes to Barnes & Noble and asks them to make sure that the book is in the bookstore, Amanda Goes to Las Vegas, because I want to be very supportive of Las Vegas and make sure that everybody knows the good things about here, and that they just love me as an author.
Thanks again. And listeners, if you're interested in getting your book published, please visit us at semediapro.com and click on the book publishing link. This is Jodi Hockinson, host of Southeast Media Sunrise, Southeast Media Productions. Like us on Facebook at Southeast Media Productions, or visit our website at semediapro.com.